Hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Pounds and Inches, a board game review series where we bring you a review every time one of us loses a pound or an inch.
All right, so this is episode 414 and 157 and a half.
No, not a thing.
All right, so today we're talking about cities. This is a game that I picked up basically at the bargain bin. I didn't know anything about it. I saw it was on a crazy good price. Couldn't pass it up. Figured it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you get in the box?
So you get 4 different sets of these tiles numbered 1 through 24, and then 4 different colored meeples. So it plays up to 4 people, and that's about it.
Yeah, every single one of these is identical, 1 through 24. So everyone's playing with the exact same set of tiles.
1 and 1, like the exact same.
Exactly. All right, so what's going to happen in this game is there's going to be one person who is the master builder. They're going to shuffle up all their tiles. They're going to choose 3 of them, set them up a certain way, and then everyone else is going to choose those exact same 3 tiles. So let's say somebody had 4, 11, and 19. They'd call that out. Everyone else would pull out their 4, 11, and 19, and they would build a little start of a city out of it. Basically, you're trying to make a 4x4 grid, so it's 16 tiles. Out of the 24, obviously 8 of them are not going to be used. Adds a little bit of element of you don't know what's coming up next, and some of those tiles aren't going to be used at all. So you can't really bank on them being there, the ones that you really want to have there. They're all a little bit different. There's 4 different colors: the yellow, the green, orange, and blue. So those are the kind of patterns that you're working with, and you're trying to make this little city score you the most amount of points possible. There's also 3 sets of styles of play, I should say, 3 sets of rules. Stage 1, 2, and 3. The complexity of the game goes up a little bit each time you bump up.
And to score at the end of the game, you'll have to place your meeples on places that you think would score the highest.
Yeah, you have 7 meeples that you own, and over the course of the game, you're going to be placing them down after you place a tile, or you can move them around a little bit as well, so that gives you some freedom.
Yeah, this game is fast. It plays really fast, especially if you play with people who are already familiar with this game. It just goes by in, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because everyone's playing at the exact same time. No matter how many people you're playing with, it's going to be that same 15 to 20, 30 minutes game every time you play it. It's completely fair. It's a multiplayer solitaire. Everyone is doing their own thing. It's completely independent of what other people do. I suppose you could look over and see what someone else's city is, but I mean, as far as the gameplay itself, there's no interaction whatsoever. And for me, that's not a bad thing. Some people say multiplayer solitaire is a bad thing. This, in my opinion at least, this is an example of a good way it works.
Yeah, so a little background story of what Ryan and I are doing right now. We actually made a list of all the games that we own in our collection, and we are trying to play through every single game that we own before the end of the year. And if it just doesn't make it to the table, we're going to let somebody else love that game, because if it doesn't get to the table within a year, we're probably just not going to play it. This game we played pretty early on in February because I wanted to get it out of the way. I am not a fan of this game. I think for me what it is so if you've ever played euchre before, there's a card counting aspect to that game to see what other people have, what might be played, what's left out there. And even though I love the game euchre, I can't really count cards. I've never really been able to do that. My brain just doesn't work that way. And this reminds me of that. I feel like to play competitively against the other people, you need to know what's going to come up or what could possibly come up in order to justify the position that you're laying your tile. I can't do that. It just causes me just that slight bit of anxiety to make me not enjoy this game at all.
I obviously disagree. I love this game. This is one that I play frequently online. Probably why I don't have to play it as much in physical copy, just because I do have an outlet for it still. So if you're ever on Boîte you can find me there. Scott Animal is my username. Scott Animal 22, just like on Board Game Geek or on YouTube, and I'll play it there. You can challenge me. But no, one thing other to keep in mind: the 3 rule sets is kind of a little bit confusing. There's 1, 2, and 3 sets of rules. I do not like when games do that. I don't even really like a lot of times when they have like an intro scenario and then like the real full game. That's kind of what this feels like. Is you have this beginner set of rules, and then you jump up a little bit, and then the rules change all of a sudden. And you're like, well, okay, the same play I would have made in the first game makes me, I'm behind now. I would have made that same play in the level 2 rules. And stage 3, same thing. I would have much rather they just said, here's the rules, and that being the stage 3 complexity. That would have made more sense to me, a little easier to learn, not have to go through that training seminar that they put you through. That's my personal opinion. That's my favorite way to play, is at the level 3.
Yeah. I think you also believe that if we were taught that way first, I would enjoy it more.
That's my personal opinion. That way, that when you jump up from the difficulty levels, it's kind of rocks your world a little bit, and you have to...
There can be a mental block there.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of cool to note is, since this is multiplayer solitaire, it is possible to purchase multiple sets of this game, and therefore you can play with up to 8 people, or up to 12, or up to 16, based on how many copies of the game you decide to own. That being said, they are $25 per copy online. That's the MSRP.
I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah, for the meeples and the nice tiles that you get. This is a small box game, but a small price that goes with it. All right, so overall thoughts?
I love tile laying games, just not this tile laying game.
And I love all tile laying games, and no discrimination. I guess that I've played so far. But I do like cities. It sounds like anything we said is something that interests you. Give it a shot. If you see a copy lying around, if it's the anxiety, that fear of what's going on and not being able to organize the tiles, give it a pass. That's not going to hurt our feelings one bit. But that is cities. Well, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Pounds and Inches. Hopefully we'll be back for another episode soon. You can join us on Board Game Geek at our blog and review series, Pounds and Inches, or you can follow us on YouTube, Pounds and Inches, and hopefully keep on losing those weight, losing those inches, and bringing more and more reviews.
All right, until next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.